So back again. So we have been discussing about interference, and in the last class we have discussed about the interference in thin parallel films, and we have found out the path difference between the rays which is reflected, and you can see it here, and we have derived the equation for the rays which is reflected from the upper and lower surfaces of a film, and we have found out the interference of the reflected light, and what we have obtained is the path difference between the two rays which is reflected from the upper and lower surface of a plane parallel thin film, and what you have got is the difference in the length between two interfering waves. That is, it is denoted by delta, and it is equal to 2 mu t cos r. And this equation is also known as cosine law. You just note it down there. This equation is also known as the cosine law. Okay, so this is purely the path difference between the rays which got reflected from the upper and lower surface of a thin film. And now what happens next is the correction on account of phase change at reflection, and we have already discussed in the last class that when a ray is traveling from a rarer medium to a denser medium, at the boundary of rarer to denser medium there occurs a path difference, and this path difference is normally equivalent to lambda by 2. So what happens here is that this path difference get added in the path difference between the interfering waves, and what you'll be getting is like this way. You'll be getting is actually we found the path difference between these two rays. Okay, the ray which is reflected, that is BC, and the other ray reflected is DE. We found the path difference between these two rays. What happens is that the ray AB gets directly reflected at BC. Another ray AB which is starting from the ray, we are obtaining the interference of light BC and DE. അതായത് BC ലൈറ്റും DE ലൈറ്റും ആണ് ഇന്റർഫിയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അവർ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒറിജിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് AB എന്നാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ they act as coherent sources. പക്ഷേ ഈ രണ്ട് ലൈറ്റും തമ്മിൽ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പൊ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസിനനുസരിച്ചിട്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ഇന്റർഫറൻസാ കിട്ടുക എന്നുള്ളത് മനസ്സിലാവുക. അപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ കണ്ടിട്ടുള്ള പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് എന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? ഇപ്പൊ ഇത് നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ തന്നെ മനസ്സിലാവും BH എന്നുള്ളത് അധിക പാത്താണ്. അതുകൂടാതെ അത് ഏത് റേക്കാണ്? ഫസ്റ്റ് റേക്കുള്ള പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ്. അതുകൂടാതെ എന്താണ്? സെക്കൻഡ് റേ സഞ്ചരിക്കുന്ന അധിക ദൂരം BF പ്ലസ് FD. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ എന്തെടുത്തത്? പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് BF പ്ലസ് FD മൈനസ് BH. അത് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ അറിയാം, BF പ്ലസ് FD മൈനസ് BH. അതാണ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചത്. അതുകൂടാതെ എന്ത് പറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ട്? ഇവിടുന്ന് റേറർ മീഡിയം ആയ എയറിൽ നിന്ന് ഈ തിൻ ഫിലിമിലോട്ട് ലൈറ്റ് തട്ടുന്നത് ഡെൻസർ മീഡിയം ആണ്. അപ്പൊ സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ടും there will be a path difference of lambda by 2. അപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ എന്തും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്? BC എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ലൈറ്റിന് lambda by 2 path difference കൂടെ ഉണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ എന്ത് പറ്റി? ലൈറ്റ് എന്തായി? ഉള്ളിലോട്ട് കയറി. പിന്നെ ഇത് റിഫ്ലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എവിടെയാണ്? ഡെൻസർ ടു റയർ മീഡിയത്തിലെ ഇന്റർഫേസിലാണ്. ഇവിടെ എന്തുണ്ടാവില്ല? ഒരു പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. പിന്നെ അതിവിടെ ട്രാൻസ്മിഷനാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്, റിഫ്ലക്ഷൻ അല്ല. അപ്പം പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് വരുന്നത് എന്താണ്? ഈ റിഫ്ലക്ഷൻ അറ്റ് ദ പോയിന്റ് ബിയിൽ മാത്രമാണ്. pi phase difference equivalent to a path difference of lambda by 2. Okay, അപ്പോൾ what you will be getting is like a interference. You will be getting constructive and destructive interference depending upon the path difference between these two rays. അപ്പം ഈ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസിൽ ഒരു കംപ്ലീറ്റ് വേവിനെ കൊള്ളിക്കാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൺസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് ഇന്റർഫറൻസും ആ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസിൽ ഒരു ഹാഫ് വേവിനെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലാംഡ ബൈ 2 വേവിനെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 3 ലാംഡ ബൈ 2 അങ്ങനെ ഓഡ് ഇന്റഗ്രൽ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഓഫ് ഹാഫ് വേവ് ലെങ്തിനെ കൊള്ളിക്കാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ഡിസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് ഇന്റർഫറൻസും ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, so hope you got an idea about what's happening. So the net path difference is denoted by lambda f is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2. So condition for maxima and minima. When maxima occurs, the path difference is equal to m lambda. അതായത് കൺസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് ഇന്റർഫറൻസ് നടക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് ആയ 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 is equal to m lambda. So it can accommodate ആ ഡിഫറൻസിൽ എന്തിനെ അക്കോമഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും? An integral multiple of full wavelength. It could be 1 lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, etc. Then we get a bright fringe there. അത് ആ ഒരു പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസിൽ ഒരു സിംഗിൾ വേവ് അല്ലേ, ഒരു സിംഗിൾ വേവിനെ നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ റെപ്രസെന്റ് ചെയ്യും? കേഴ്സറിന്റെ മൂവ്മെന്റ് നോക്കൂ, 1 വേവ്. പിന്നെ 2 വേവ്സ് ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ 2 വേവ്സ്. അപ്പം ഈ ലെങ്ത്തിൽ ആ ഡിഫറൻസിൽ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസിൽ 2 വേവ് ലെങ്ത്തിനെ കൊള്ളിക്കാം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ 3 വേവ് ലെങ്ത്തിനെ കൊള്ളിക്കാം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വാട്ട് യുൽ ബി ഗെറ്റിംഗ് വിൽ ബി എ കൺസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് ഇൻഡിഫറൻസ്. And we will get a destructive indifference under which condition is that the path difference is okay, this is the condition for brightness itself. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനെ നമുക്ക് rearrange ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, കാരണം we are having a lambda by 2 here. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this lambda by 2 to this side, and what we'll be getting is 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2m plus 1 lambda by 2, or the path difference is equal to 2m plus 1 lambda by 2. 2m plus 1 2 mu t cos r is equal to 2m plus 1 lambda by 2 is the condition for brightness. Okay, and what is the next condition? If the optical path difference between the two rays is ഇവിടെ ഇന്റഗ്രൽ നമ്പർ ആണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത്, ഇവിടെ എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, odd integral number of half waves. The optical path difference is equivalent to odd integral number of half the wavelength. Then the rays meet each other in opposite phase. അപ്പോൾ തമ്മിൽ കൂടിക്കലർന്ന റേ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ഫേസിലായിരിക്കും. And this opposite phase indicates a destructive interference in the sense that the crest of one wave meet the trough of the other, and there undergoes a destructive interference, and that is 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 is equal to 2m plus 1 lambda by 2. That is 2m plus 1 lambda by 2, and you can take this lambda by 2 here. So it will be 2m plus 1 lambda by 2 means m lambda plus lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2. So what you will be getting altogether, if you are taking this 2 mu t cos r to the left side and the rest of the terms onto the right hand side, what will be left is like this way, m plus 1 lambda. What is this? M is an integer, 1 is an integer. So integer plus integer means we'll get another integer. So instead of m plus 1 lambda, I can write it as m lambda. So if the path difference 2 mu t cos r is equal to m lambda, in the case of thin film interference in reflected light, this is a condition for darkness. M plus 1 lambda is replaced by m lambda, since the addition of a complete wavelength won't bring about any change. ഇത് മനസ്സിലായി എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പം രണ്ട് വേവ്സ് തമ്മിലുള്ള പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇന്റഗ്രൽ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ഓഫ് ഫുൾ വേവ് ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ it will give a constructive interference, and if it is a half integral multiple of full wave, it gives a destructive interference, which is the condition for darkness. And we'll have to take into consideration some important points, like the conditions for interference depends on 4 parameters according to the equation 2 mu t cos r. It depends upon mu, it depends upon t, it depends upon r, and it depends also on the wavelength of the light used. And if you are using a constant thickness parallel film, what happens? Thickness is constant, refractive index is already constant, so mu t will be a constant. When the parallel beam of light is incident on such a film, what happens? R also remains a constant. Then the indifferent conditions solely depend upon wavelength of light, and we normally use this condition, and we always use a plain pakka plain parallel thin film having uniform thickness, which shows mu t and r are constant. The only thing that varies is lambda. And what happens when lambda varies? If we are using a single wavelength light which is allowed to fall on a parallel plane, the whole film will appear uniformly dark or bright depending upon the condition for interference. If the condition for constructive interference is satisfied, the film will show intense color depending upon the color of the incident light. And again, the next condition is the third one. If the parallel beam of white light instead of monochromatic light, if you are using white light, falls on the parallel film, those wavelengths for which the condition for constructive interference or the condition for the path difference of m lambda is satisfied, that light will be normally absent in the reflected film light, and other colors will be reflected Therefore, the film appears uniformly colored with one color being absent. So, depending upon the and we're using a white light. What does it mean? We're using a white light having all the colors. The particular color for which the condition for destructive interference will be absent, and the rest of the color will be seen in the reflected light, which gives a uniform illumination with one color absent. So this is what is happening in the case of interference in white light and interference in monochromatic light. As an example, if you take a problem, I'll read out the problem for you. Two beams of microwaves of wavelength 600 nanometer. Okay, it's 600 nanometer is emitted by a source, and they both travel 5 centimeter to a detector, but one passes through air while the other passes through cords of refractive index 1.54. And we have to look whether they cause constructive or destructive interference. So normally I'll have to find out the path difference. So it will be the path difference is represented by the optical path difference, n d minus n cos d minus n air d. So what I'll be getting is 1.54 minus 1 into 0.05. 5 centimeters converted to 0.05 meter. So what I got is the path difference is 0.027. അതായത് ഈ രണ്ട് വേവ്സും തമ്മിലുള്ള വലുപ്പത്തിലുള്ള വ്യത്യാസം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 0.075 ആണ്. അതാണ് ഒപ്റ്റിക്കൽ പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പം അതിൽ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന വേവ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ്? നമ്പർ ഓഫ് വേവ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 0.027 ഡിവൈഡഡ് ബൈ ലാംഡയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, അതിൽ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന നമ്പർ ഓഫ് വേവ് ലെങ്സിന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണ്? ഈ ലെങ്ത് ഡിവൈഡഡ് ബൈ ഒരു വേവ് ലെങ്ത് gives the number of wavelengths that can be accommodated, and it is 0.027 divided by 0.0006 meter, and what you'll be getting is 4.5 wavelength. And what happens, since it is not an integral but half integral wavelength, I can easily say that it indicates the condition for destructive interference. Hope the concept is clear for you. And this is something already know. If there is a path difference of lambda, there will be a corresponding phase difference of pi. If there is a path difference of lambda by 2, there will be a phase difference of if there is a path difference of lambda, there will be a phase difference of 2 pi. If there is a path difference of lambda by 2, there will be a phase difference of pi. So now we are going to discuss non-reflecting films, and we'll check out how we are going to reduce the reflectivity of thin film surfaces. Suppose we are having a light beam propagating in a medium of refractive index mu1, which is incident normally on a dielectric of refractive index mu2. Let R and T be the amplitude, reflection and transmission coefficients. And we are going to discuss the need for non-reflecting films, and we are having a thin film with refractive index outside is mu1, and the refractive index of the dielectric is mu2. And normally you'll have the incident ray, reflected ray, this will be transmitted ray, and in this figure this will be incident, this will be reflected, and this will be transmitted. And we are having the expression, and I'm not going to discuss how you got this expression, you just take it for granted, and we are having the expression R is equal to mu1 minus mu2 divided by mu1 plus mu2, and similarly transmission is equal to transmission coefficient is 2 mu1 divided by mu1 plus mu2 in this case, in the first case. And the light beam is propagating in a medium of refractive index mu2 and is incident on a medium of refractive index mu1. And we are discussing the second case. Then the reflection and transmission coefficient is represented by R prime and T prime. And what happens, instead of mu1 minus mu2, it will be mu2 minus mu1 divided by mu1 plus mu 2, and T prime will be 2 mu 2 divided by mu 1 plus mu 2. And from the equation it is clear that R prime is equal to minus R. It will just get a reversed sign. And always the intensity is square of amplitude. We get what happens. I can represent the amplitude reflection coefficient gives the fraction of light intensity of light get reflected, and it is represent the amplitude of the reflection coefficient is actually the fraction of the light intensity that is getting reflected, and it is called the reflection coefficient or reflectivity, and it is generally denoted by R. And R square is equal to mu 1 minus mu 2 divided by mu 1 plus mu 2 whole square. And now the next condition is, and we got the expression for reflectivity in films, and next the condition is how you're going to reduce the reflectivity on the surface of this optical elements. As an application of thin film interference phenomena, and we discuss how we are going to reduce the reflectivity on the optical surface of the optical elements. And optical instruments, there will be many lens surfaces, and each of the surface reflect light, and there will be a considerable loss in intensity, and it is very large if the number of the reflecting surface is increasing. And for normal incidence case, we have R is equal to mu 1 minus mu 2 divided by mu 1 plus mu 2 whole square. Suppose as an example, if the refractive index of air is 1 and that of this glass surface is 1.5, you will get the expression for reflectivity as 0.0. From the expression for reflectivity, I can get the percentage of light reflected to be 4%. 0.04 indicates 4% of light is reflected from the crown glass from each of the surface. And instead of crown glass, if you are using a flint glass, what happens? The percentage of reflectivity is increased to 6%. And if we are having a larger number of surfaces, the loss will be intense. So in order to reduce these losses from the lens surface, the lens surfaces are always coated with the non-reflecting film, which is having, this is very important, it is to be, this non-reflecting film should be having a refractive index which is less than that of the glass usually. Suppose a thin film or a transparent film is coated on the surface of the glass to reduce the reflectivity. To reduce the losses due to reflectivity, the material of the thin film is selected that its refractive index, and we are going to coat the glass surface with another transparent film with a low refractive index, as such that the refractive index of the film is always taken as the square root of the refractive index of the glass and that of this air. And refractive index of the film that we are used for coating is square root of refractive index. It is not F, it is G actually. Square root of refractive index of glass and air. And suppose the glass is having a refractive index, air is having a refractive index 1. What you will be getting is mu F is film is the square root of refractive index of glass. And for crown glass, if mu G is 1.5, square root of mu G is 1.22, and that for flint glass you will get 1.29. And you can just substitute and look it here, means the reflectivity will be seen to be considerably reduced, which is equivalent to 1% or less than 1%. Okay, so such a value of mu f result into a reflection of equal quantities, and if you are using such a value for refractive index of the film, what happens here is that the light which is the light getting reflected from the upper surface and the light which is reflected from the lower surface will have a and normally what happens here is that light is getting reflected from a rarer medium to a denser medium. There will be a path difference and equivalent to there will be a equal path difference, since the light is reflected from a rarer to light is traveling or getting reflected from a rarer to a denser medium. And if the thickness of the thin film coating is lambda by 4, then the light reflected from these two surfaces will have a path difference of lambda by 2 or phase difference of pi. Okay. അപ്പൊ ഈ തിക്നെസ് ഈ രണ്ട് കേസിൽ ഇവിടെ എന്താണ് ലൈറ്റ് റിഫ്ലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് റെയറർ ടു ഡെൻസർ മീഡിയം ഇന്റർഫേസിലാണ്. അതുണ്ടാക്കുന്ന പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ലൈറ്റ് ഇത് തമ്മിലുള്ള തിക്നെസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് λ/4. തിക്നെസ് ഓഫ് ദ വേവ് പ്ലേറ്റ് the coating is λ/4 means the light reflected from the two surfaces, upper and lower surface, will have a path difference of λ/2. That is λ/4 plus λ/4. That is equivalent to λ/2 corresponding to a phase difference of pi. And this indicates a condition for constructive interference. So always you will get a condition for constructive interference, and choosing this condition helps in reducing the reflectivity. So hope the class is clear for you. If you are having any doubts, you can come to me. So we'll resume the class soon.